Hello, welcome to the inaugural episode of Metaphysical Corner. And my name is Frank, and along with Valerie, my beautiful, wonderful wife, we are the co-owners and of the Enchanted Oak. And though make no mistake, my wife is the driving force behind it. It was her idea.
Got music in the background.
Yeah, we have music in the background here going on. Yeah, isn't that great? What was that? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I think that was from. And also, I have my stepson, and as far as I'm concerned, my son, Damien, who is our resident dream catcher maker. Look at that. Isn't that great? And you will be doing a tutorial in the future on how to make these.
Possibly within like a week or two.
Okay, possibly within a week or two. But what I should explain, we're doing this right in our house here at St. Clair Shores, on the shores of Lake St. Clair, thus the name. And we also have three canines, that 200-pound ones and a smaller one that if there happens to be a dog walking by, you will hear from them. And I apologize for that beforehand, but they're a lot of fun. But as far as what I want this to become, as I call it, the Metaphysical Corner, metaphysics is an all-encompassing term. The term meta means above and beyond, and so what we're talking about is above and beyond the physical world. And no, it doesn't mean, well, astral projection is part of it. That's in there. It's an all-encompassing term. It's the nature of reality, the nature of matter. There are some premises of it that are mind-blowing. I fully expect, I would love for this to become a discussion group, so to speak. We do live episodes, or you call, or you can make comments. And you guys are going to teach me as much as I teach you. I have to emphasize, for a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, as mind-blowing as it is, do I have answers? No, I don't. I wish I did. No one does. That's kind of the fun part of this. You could be free thinkers in this. And that is, with metaphysics, the number one thing you have to have is an open mind. If you're like, oh my God, there's no way that can exist, then you're going to have a problem with metaphysics. But yet, metaphysics is very real. I myself am an amateur astrologer. And in that, and I mean amateur, there are people who absolutely dedicate their lives to it. It becomes complicated beyond belief. I personally specialize, I guess is the word, in natal horoscopes. Where the planets were on the day you were born, how that impacts the rest of your life. Is kind of like your blueprint. But how is it? That to me, that astrology works is undeniable. It's unquestionable, and not debatable. However, how does it work? How does it do what it does? Why should planets and their position in relationship to each other have any effect on you? Why should that be? How is it? I think that's the number one thing that I look at, and I think that, why? I keep asking why. Too many people, hear something and they don't question it as to they don't question that it is, they don't question why it is. And I think that's what metaphysics tries to answer. So what we're going to end up doing is approaching subjects that are, there's going to be times when you're watching this and I can almost hear you say, you're crazy, or, oh my God, that cannot be. If you didn't say so, at some point, I would be worried. I know there's times I thought, as I read up on this and studied it, there is so many realms, so many different aspects of this. It's all encompassing. And as far as some of the wild things that we're going to be talking about, but yet it's real, is the stuff that is going to seem so wild as to be as seem unbelievable. But if you remember, if you know anything about history, well, I love history, by the way. One of the things that back 500-600 years ago, they believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. The sun went around the Earth because we must be in the center because we can't feel anything. It turns out quite the opposite is true. We're going around the sun, but you can understand as we sit here, do we feel any movement? Obviously not. I can understand them thinking that. So when Copernicus came out and said, "Hey, listen, sorry folks, the Earth moves around the sun," people thought they were absolutely nuts. Well, as it turns out, we're moving at 66,000 miles per hour around the sun. Our sun moves within the solar system. Our solar system moves within the galaxy, and our galaxy moves within all the other galaxies. And in reality, you're traveling somewhere around 1,000,000 miles an hour, in all told. So you've never been in the same place twice. As far as my background, it is strictly engineering. And so you might think to yourself, why is this engineer talking about metaphysics? And that would be a legit question. Matter of fact, back in January 2016, I was a juror in a murder trial. When I got picked to be on the jury, the prosecutor, as he told me, he goes, when I was undergoing the questioning, he said it was a murder trial with very highly circumstantial evidence. And what happened was, Damien, you're bothering me. Anyway, it was very circumstantial evidence. He goes, I don't like engineers. You guys see it. You guys see everything in black and white. There's no gray areas. And I looked at him straight in the eye and I said, you're right. I do. In my work, it's black and white. There is, no gray areas. It's right or it's wrong. But that's in my work. Life is quite the opposite. Life is thousands of shades of gray, much more than 50. And the courtroom kind of chuckled at that, and he liked it. He kept me on the and I ended up being a juror on the trial. Anyway, what happens from that point, when you consider what meta means, above and beyond, it's the nature of, what is reality? I sit here and you're watching this, the table that you sit at, and you drive your car, is it real? What makes it real? Where does consciousness come from? That we are, we exhibit that we know we're alive. Where does this come from? You have to have an open mind. Once again, I hate to keep emphasizing this, but so true. Because the stuff, I'm gonna try and do this in bit-sized pieces, so to speak, because there's so much that I want to talk about. And as I say, I could see, as I'm sitting here, I want to go in 3,000 directions at once, because there's so much to talk about. But I just want this to be a short introductory video, and I want to try and give you something to think about, as far as for the next show, or the next time we get together, whatever you watch, the next show that you watch. And, I remember back, when I was, back in high school, chemistry, and I was starting to take my technical training and engineering and all that stuff. You would get the facts, but I was the one that always said, why? I don't understand why this is so. Where's it? Maybe that's my biggest question, is where's this come from? For example, one of the laws of physics says there's the law of the conservation of energy. which says energy cannot be created or destroyed. This is basically true. But then where the hell did it come from? You know, I don't have, not, I have to say, I don't have the answer. No one does. But these are the kind of questions we are going to be looking at. It's going to be very thought-provoking if you look at it correctly. If you just try to, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I just want you to think to yourself, wow. You know, it's like the old saying, I think Shakespeare, who said, you know, there's more in heaven and earth than is dreamt of in your philosophy. You better believe it. When, you know, back when I was in chemistry in high school, we were taught the atomic theory. Yeah, because that's what, and I want to emphasize that for the first couple of shows, because that's where this, you know, we're real, or are we? I can touch myself, I can touch the chair, I can pet my dog. But is it real? You know, what, or is it, I'm going to say a scam, but, you know, there's this thing called quantum physics, which says, it may be. So, we're going to get into that. But I just want to leave you with something to think about. And I'm going to show us here, Kim. And then my wife can eat. Oh, I got it upside down. Can you see it? Is that okay, hon? Okay. Here is an atom of carbon. This is the nucleus. Yeah, and most of you will probably remember this from your high school chemistry. With 6 protons. That's where the pluses are protons. There's 6 of them. I chose carbon for a reason. Carbon is the basis of life. Carbon is, you know, we're carbon-based creatures, as is all life on Earth. And 6 electrons, which go, and electrons are negative charge, which go around the nucleus of the atom. It seems simple enough. I questioned a couple things right away. One of the laws of electrostatics says if you take any 2 charges that are the same pluses, bring 2 pluses together, and what's going to happen, they're going to repel each other, just like magnets, 2 north ends of a magnet. We've got 2 magnets, you bring north ends together, they repel. But opposites attract, positive and negative, or 2 negatives that repel. Why is this? I don't know. So I would look at this in my chemistry class, and I would say, oh, wait a minute, you got these 6 protons, which are all in there together, and why, you know, they're all repelling each other, they're all trying to get away from each other with tremendous force. Why is it that they stay together? Why don't they just fly apart? Because they want to. And the answer, well, the answer is, a physicist will tell you, is an answer called the strong force. It's a force that's even stronger than the force of these 6 trying to repel each other. I said, oh, really? Where's that come from? We don't know. I don't have the, once again, I don't have the answer. No one does. I'll give you another perfect example. The more mass something has, that's where, you know, gravity. We deal with it every day. I deal with it, you deal with it. Gravity, the more mass something has, the more gravity it has. That's why we're stuck to the Earth. Earth has got a lot more mass than we do, so we're stuck to it. Earth goes around the sun's got a lot more gravity than the Earth, so we go in orbit around the sun. Well, where's gravity come from? So what? This is what matter is made of. Where does the gravity come from? We don't know. Once again, I don't have the answer. No one does. And here's the, when I was in high school chemistry, they would teach these models, and they would show, you know, the electrons going around. And they're in shells. You know, there's depending upon how many there could be up to 5, 6 shells. But this carbon has 2 shells. There can only be 2 in the first shell. Why? I don't know. And the second shell can have up to 8. Now, in the case of carbon, it's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the number of protons and the number of electrons are the same. That way it's electrically neutral. 6 positives, 6 negatives works out to 0. It's electrically neutral. But these 4 will be here. Now, another thing they taught when I was that they were single points. Electrons are not. They're what they're called electron clouds, which is a whole nother matter. But these can only exist at certain. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to do this. This distance from here to here, and this distance from here to here, is fixed by the laws of physics. You will never, ever find an electron there. Why? Why does it have to be this distance? There's a reason. And this is the basis of quantum mechanics or quantum physics. Because that's what quantum means. It's a quantity. It's a certain distance from here to here, and a certain distance from here to here, and never the twain shall meet. Once again, I don't have the answer. There's a reason. I don't know what it is. But the fact is, 99.999% of the mass of an electron is in this nucleus. 99.9999999%. The electrons which go around, matter of fact, it's 1 over 1,837. Electron is 1,837 times smaller than one proton. Yet it has the same charge, except the electron is negative, he's positive. So 99.99999% of the mass of an atom is in the nucleus, with an incredibly small amount in electrons. And what's in between these distances, like from here to here, and from here to where he is, to where you might find that electron in a cloud, there's nothing. In other words, an atom is 99.99999% nothing. It's of which what mass it does have is mostly in the nucleus, and there's some in the mass in the electrons that are going around. So an actual atom, every atom that exists that make up you, me, everything, it's mostly nothing. In other words, an atom is mostly space. There's got to be something going on. Well, no, you're down to the most basic level. So an atom, as you say, is mostly nothing. Yeah, I sure feel solid. This table sure feels solid. But yet this says it shouldn't be. Something to think about. We'll get into this as to why this is the case. And there's one more thing I want you to think about. In this case, carbon is the basis of life. How about hydrogen? Probably among the most common, I think it's far more, I know it's far more hydrogen in the universe than carbon. Hydrogen is the basis of stars. And hydrogen, very simple. It's got one proton as its nucleus. It's got one electron that goes around it. That's it. That's all there is. But protons are protons. There's no difference between a hydrogen proton and a carbon proton. None. Or electron, same thing. What determines what an element is, which element it is the amount of protons in the nucleus and the equal number of electrons going around it. So in other words, every single substance that we know and exists in the universe is made of the same exact thing. There's protons, electrons, and neutrons, which are also can be in the nucleus, which don't have a charge at all. They give some mass in some cases. So why is it that if I only got one proton and one electron, it's hydrogen, and I got 6 protons and 6 electrons, it's carbon, and it's totally different. And every aluminum, iron, the same story. It's just the number. And why is it that the number should determine what it is. It would seem that, if these proton, if the proton that made up a hydrogen nucleus, the proton here and these protons were different types of protons. If they were different things, I could see the difference between carbon and hydrogen. It turns out, like I said, you, me, the street that you drive on, and the car, we're all made. Everything is made of the same stuff. So think about this as far as just, how can this be if most of everything is nothing? Why is it that the world seems so real? Why is it that I feel that marker won't go through my hand? There's an answer for this, and we'll discuss that next time. So, like us on Facebook, and we will see you next time.